So let's get this straight. There are two dogs. They're told to sit. One is given a treat. One is not. Over time, the one that's not given the treat says, in essence, it says whatever. F it. And stops obeying the command. Stop right there. Does that mean that the dog has an aversion to being treated unfairly? Not necessarily, right? What could be going on here?
They like the treats.
They're like, oh, I did not get a treat for this behavior, so apparently this behavior is not favored. So they just stop doing it. So it could be a whole like, hey, that's not fair thing, or it could just be stimulus response thing, right? Okay.
They wouldn't be aware of that stimulus if the other dog weren't getting the treat, so I feel like it's still.
Well, wait, hold on. Maybe they are though. Like if you tell your dog to sit, and then you never reward it ever again, could just stop doing it. You don't think so? Think it would just keep doing?
I the right answer. I'm just being an answer.
Well, no. I'm curious. Like if you never rewarded a dog again, just you told it to sit and it sat, and then eventually, would it do it forever till its dying days? Anyone? Any dog owners here? Yes? Would it do it forever?
Well, yeah, my dog's hungry.
I mean, so here's one thing you have to be very careful of, because if you think to yourself, yeah, that dog would do it forever, it could be that dog, but it also could be because you don't have to reward a dog for sitting just by giving it a treat. Right. Merely smiling or whatever may be enough to get that dog to keep doing it, right? So really, you have to have no reaction and just say, sit, and I don't know, like, have a random speaker say it out of nowhere and just see if it keeps sitting in response to that. You have a dog in a room and a speaker and it says, sit. Will it do it forever? It might eventually say, whatever, and stop. In any case, it doesn't matter even if some dogs would do it forever. You have to think to yourself, I hope we had some sort of reaction like, yeah, it could be because they're treated unfairly. It could just be because they're not being given a treat, right? And so that's actually where answer choice B comes into play. What would be most helpful in knowing, is there a decline in obedience if rewards are withheld from both dogs in the pair? If you withhold them from both and obedience goes down, then it seems to suggest it's not necessarily about the fairness, it's about the lack of treat. Right? Okay, other answers that were tempting. Which ones do we want to talk about? C. Were dogs who received treats in one trial, so the one who kept sitting, ever used as dogs that did not receive treats in the other trials? Okay, so I want a very clear answer. Why is this wrong? Why wouldn't it be good to know this? Wait, what? I just didn't hear what you said.
I just said because it focuses on our dog, not the process.
Okay, maybe that's part of the problem here. Yeah, Morgan?
Because it's saying the dogs were given treats, but it's not explaining why they would have a reaction to not getting a treat.
It doesn't touch on why they stopped. Did they stop because it was unfair, or did they stop because they just stopped getting a treat? Like, if you know that a dog was put in both cases, it's like nice. Oh, they're mixing up the dogs and they're getting experience in both cases. But when those dogs stop doing the command or stop following the command, is that because it was unfair, or is that simply because in that particular case they were not getting the treats? Because they got treats before and they did it, and then they stopped getting treats and they stopped doing it. Maybe that's because they just stopped getting treats. So answer choice C doesn't explain why the dogs are stopping, whereas answer choice B does, depending on the answer, right? There is a decline, then it's probably because of the treats. There was not a decline when both of them were denied the treat. That would suggest it's the unfairness. Are we okay with that? All right, other answers we want to talk about? Okay.